Okay, I got some time left. Pulled the 6 up. This will be my next piece of machinery to service. Final drive, gear oil. I just check, wires, hoses, make sure we're all good. See what the mice have eaten. Looks pretty good. What is that? Fuel filter. We'll change that. Just your standard oil filter. What's that say? 312. I can't read my own writing. 342 hours since last year. Let's see where I'm at. Just curious. Just looking things over. We'll give it a good cleaning. So 342, we're at 451. So about 110 hours in between oil changes. Since it's warming up so nice, I can get it cleaned out here before I pull it in the shop. I always like doing that. Makes them easier to work on. Now this thing, it was about 10 below 0 degrees Fahrenheit, so this thing just would not want to start. So were the batteries junk? I don't know. I put a trickle charger on it about 3 days ago. It was 25%. We're up to 50% now. So they're coming back. And it's quite a bit warmer now. We got to be in the 40s right now. Okay. So it's definitely getting better. Let's see if we can save these batteries. I don't know the date on them. I can't really see it in there. They don't look that old. Well, 324. 2 years old. We should be able to get some life out of them. Yeah, I didn't notice that earlier. Of course, I wasn't looking for it. Okay, let's get this thing cleaned. Okay, just got back here. I'm gonna head down and eat lunch here pretty soon. Just pulled it in, letting the engine warm up real good. Sitting outside, what is it today? About 22 degrees outside. The oil's real thick. Go ahead and heat the engine up a little bit and bring it, it doesn't have to be real hot. But if you get that engine oil a little bit thinner, that'll drain nice. I like these. Let's see if you can see it. It has a lever on it right there. So all you have to do is push on this, pull on that. Now the oil comes right out. Isn't that nice? Why don't all engines have that? You can see it's flowing out real good. This has, I was just looking at this. Let's see, usually write it on the filters. 342 hours. Oh, I think I talked about this yesterday. 342. 342, and we are 451. 342, so about 110 hours. I always take the key out. I don't want anybody coming in here and moving this, starting the engine. So I'm going to let this drain. Flush some oil, new filters. Here we go. Lunchtime. And maybe some soup. Get warmed up a little bit. It was pretty cold over there in that parking lot. The wind was whipping through there, then with a little bit of snow. Dress in layers and focus on working. But now that I come inside and I start to get warm, it's like, oh, I was cold. Okay, enough chit chat. We'll see you later. Okay, so I take about a quart, maybe even just a half a quart, just a little bit of oil. And with the drain plug still open, I run some nice clean fresh oil through there. You can see there's not a lot in there, just a little bit. If you can get a little bit more dirt out of this engine, I think it's a good step to do. Let's go take a look. Looks like it's coming out pretty clean. That's why I don't use a lot, just a little bit. Okay, we'll let that drain out. Get the filters changed and get this machine cleaned. Okay, while you're here working on this, always put your fill cap back on. You don't have to tighten it. Put that fill cap back on so you don't knock any dirt and debris in there. You're going through all this trouble to keep the inside of that engine clean. New filter, check the numbers, good match. How about right here? Okay. Oil filter wrench. That's why I have a drawer full of wrenches, because each machine, a different setup, different wrench fits in there better than the other one. Get the right wrench on that. Piece of cake. Let me slide that over just a little bit. There you go. Did I mean to do that? Heck yeah. Maybe that'll help a little bit. I just brought in a little light, headlamp light. Wiping the housing off for the filter. A little bit of dirt coming off of there. Make sure you use clean paper towels for that. You know, the cost of everything is crazy expensive. I just got back from CAT. Oil and filters for this were over $400 times, oh, I don't know, what do we have, 10 pieces of machinery? $4,000 just in oil and filters, not to, you know, what would labor be? So if you do this kind of stuff yourself, now you get in here and you're looking, now you see, hey, this wire needs taped up, this one's broke. I think you can do a good job at preventative maintenance on this stuff. Now your first 10 jobs of the year aren't all the profit going to somebody else. Now you're keeping a little bit more. Don't even get me started on taxes. We don't want to go there just yet. So as you notice, I'm filling up the filter. And that way, when the engine first starts, it doesn't have to run that oil pressure, fill up the, run the oil through the filter to build up oil pressure. Of course, you're not going to get it 100% full. 50% is better than 0%. Always wet that O-ring. Now as you tighten the filter, this will slip and it won't roll off and you'll get an oil leak. So always dampen that gasket. And spin on. Make contact and give it one full turn. Cat's sticking up right there. You usually get these most of the way. I got about a quarter turn to go. Just put a wrench on that. Finish that off. Okay. Stuff sitting up here. Wipe back clean. Good. Keep this nice and clean. I think a nice clean piece of equipment says something about your company. It also says something to your employees that hopefully they take better care of it when you're not around. I hope. Okay. Go ahead and close up your oil. I leave this cover off for a little bit. We'll make sure that that doesn't drip as I finish the oil change and do a run on it. Okay. So next, dipstick. Let's take that out and wipe it clean. Again, getting a little bit more dirt out of that engine. I know I'm really getting picky here, but why not? That is a 5-gallon oil pan, and it's about half full. So I'll go ahead and throw 8 quarts in this. Well, probably 6 to 8 quarts in it, and then we'll go ahead and check the oil and see. This is a 2-quart oil can. I really like this with the flexible tube on it. I have it also in a gallon. I might jump to that and get the oil in just a little bit quicker. Okay, don't forget to write on the oil filter 451 hours. And go ahead and put the date. February 10, 26. Okay. Now out in the field I'll know this, as well as in the back room I have a calendar with everything on it. Okay, next is a fuel filter. easy to get to. I'm really upset with Cat on this one. It's just an inline filter, fuel filter. Why in the world do they put it, where is it? Right here, behind this, on this line. A little bit more hose and it could be hanging right here. Instead, can I even see it with the camera? It's right there. Stupid, stupid, stupid. Can we take this pan? No, I don't want to have to take the cover off for pop this off. Does that open up? If that opens up, Cat, I apologize. I don't think it does. If it opens up, why didn't they have a latch on it? Now you'd have to pull bolts out. I'm not going to do all that. I'll just complain about it. Okay, so these are simple to change. Unclip and unplug. This every year I just cut this zip tie off. Unplug the fuel sending unit. This just pulls the drip tube out of there, and you don't even have to pull that out. So, you can unscrew the filter first. What's going to make less mess? I happen to have this bucket right here. Let's take the whole filter off. That just unscrews. Now you can drain it. That way you're not slopping fuel everywhere. Okay. Okay. All right, that's all good. Air cleaner. Remember, these things are in a lot of dust and debris all year long. Let's take a look. There's a gauge on here. Let's see if it's under any vacuum pressure. Yeah, a little bit. So it's probably pretty dirty. I always say, like, maybe this is something I should change mid-season, but I kind of never do. Yeah. So I'll wipe that out real good. Where do you see this guy? There's an inner and outer. Look at all that. And I like it when these inners are like brand new. Good. Okay. New filter, and I always match them up. Checking the part numbers. Good number, good match. Almost can't even tell which one's the new one. You can feel it just notches and bottoms out right there. New one. 3118 and 3118. Now, not that it matters, I don't know, so I always just put them in with the cat emblem up. It'll bottom out. Right there. Okay. Okay, I just moved the machine ever so slightly, drain hole at the bottom on the final, since I had it running. Let's go ahead and check this oil level one last time. See how much it went down? So we're just below the full mark. I like it. Okay, I'll get the underside buttoned up, and I'll just do one final drive with you, and we'll call this a wrap. Okay, with all the final drive fluid drained out, I just give it a little squirt. We'll let that run out. I don't know if you can see it picking up a little bit, and a little bit more dirty material coming out. Okay, as I let that drain, I had mentioned earlier the fan belt was slipping a little bit. So here, I'll start back here. This is kind of nice. Thank you, Cat. The alternator is on the other side of that fan, right over there. So I started looking at that. It looks like you should be able to get to it somehow, because why would they bury the alternator underneath there? So I took that panel off right here. I think it was just a couple of bolts, 5/8. And then I undid this panel, and this pulls right up. Careful not to scratch anything. And there's the alternator right there. Nice and easy to get to. So we'll get that tightened up. Okay, I think I got all my sizes set up. So it looks like a pretty nice bracket here. Loosen this housing bolt, and then we can tighten this bracket here, and you just kind of go by feel. You know, I'm wiggling the fan belt. Oh, if I had to guess, there's probably close to 1.5 inches flex from top to bottom. So we want to cut that in half. Make sure we're on there all the way, and give it a little bump, loosen. So another good reason that I like doing this, wiggle this off. As I'm moving stuff, I notice this hose is wire tied or zip tied together, but you can see it's wearing here. Doesn't look like it hurt anything yet, but there's not too many hours on this machine. So let's go ahead and get some sheathing around this so it doesn't get worse. Okay. I'll go ahead and shut the machine down and see if I can't tighten that up a little bit. If I have to, I'll pull it apart and put some sealant on it. Hopefully it's something simple. Okay, 3/8 wrench. You can see this is a spring tension on the hose clamp, and it was I already put a half a turn on it. It was a little bit loose. Oh, I hope that's all it was. So just increasing the tension on that a little bit. Oh, probably gave it one full turn by now. Let's go ahead and heat the machine back up and see if it still leaks. Okay, good news. It's been running for about a half an hour. Right in there, all nice and dry. Now I can get this button back up and this machine is done. Don't let me forget the final job. Again, that's why I like doing this maintenance myself. If you took it to the shop to get the fan belt tightened up, would they have seen that? Would they have said anything? I don't know. You look at everything as you're in there, and just a half of a one full turn on that could save us a headache this summer. All right, lunchtime, everybody.